Russia's invasion of Ukraine hit global markets hard overnight. Oil prices topped $100 a barrel for the first time since 2014. For more on this and what it means for your family's finances, we're joined by CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger. Jill, good morning.
Good morning.
So what does this mean for Americans on things like prices of gas?
I think that's where we're going to see the most severe impact because we know the price of oil has already been going up. We've seen oil and gas prices up by 40% from a year ago. We're headed higher, unfortunately. According to AAA, we're at about $3.54 nationally for a gallon of gas. If this persists, if this goes on, we could see oil and gas prices, utility prices up even more. We also could see agricultural prices for wheat and corn because Russia and Ukraine are big exporters. And finally, we could see metal prices. When we look at iron ore, we look at palladium used in those chips that we need in cars. So all this is going to add to inflationary pressures, at least in the short term.
And speaking of inflation, the inflation rate is at nearly a 40-year high. So what does this conflict mean for things like the price of food?
Well, I think that what we're seeing right now is at 7.5% inflation. We were expecting to drift a little bit higher. I'm talking to economists who say this could go up to 9% inflation. So everything is going to cost more. This, of course, puts the Federal Reserve in a terrible bind. Here's why. Because they want to raise interest rates to control prices. That's important. But at the same time, this is a conflict that could cause a lot of economic damage. And so the Fed is weighing not raising rates too quickly to slow down the economic recovery, but trying to control those prices.
Speaking of the economic damage, will the global markets bounce back? And what advice do you give to investors?
Well, I always start with try to take a deep breath. It's scary. These panic situations are really rough. And try to just calm down, remain true to your plan. Markets are going to be volatile. So even if
they are, Jill.
Exactly. If they go down big today, they could go up big tomorrow. Try not to react. Stick to that game plan. Remember, if you're a long-term investor, these moments are real tests. So please try to stay calm and try to remind yourself, I'm in it for the long term.
Real quick, what about to consumers?
I think for consumers, just be prepared. We are going to see this level of high prices for a while, whether it's gas, whether it's oil, whether it's food, whether it's the chips for your cars. We are stuck with high prices at least for a few more months and maybe for as much as 6 months, depending on how long this escalation lasts.
Jill, we appreciate it. This is valuable information.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Jill Schlesinger, thank you.